What's up, know-it-alls, on this wonderful Wednesday? It's your girl, Arle Michelle, with your boy, Notty, and the No Show. What's up, Notty?
What's happening? You already know it's same suit, just reheat it.
My dad, I was telling them that my daddy always used to be asking, what's up? And he'd be like, I can't call it. That was his favorite thing. I can't call it. So that's funny.
Yeah, that's old school right there.
Yeah, my daddy old school. His birthday is tomorrow. He will be
Okay.
75 years old.
Hey, happy birthday, Papa Arle. Papa Michelle, is it
Big
Wilson?
Bobby. That's Big
Bobby
Bobby.
Wilson?
Bobby Wilson.
Okay,
Singing
that
in
sounds
here.
like
My daddy was.
old school players who
It
used to
is.
sing and
Yeah,
play the guitar.
yeah, and sang the blues.
Right,
That
right.
would, he would be. He can't sing
OG
now.
Bobby Wilson.
OG.
I think I know him. I think I might have heard some of his stuff on YouTube.
He can't sing, so if you heard it, you will remember. He can
Yeah,
dance now. He gonna get that dance on, but he ain't
yeah.
that singing. He take it old school. Lord Jesus, we laugh at him about that. But yep, him and then my cousin Charlene today. Happy birthday, Charlene. My daddy and then
Charlene,
my
happy
uncle.
birthday. Shout out to Charlene.
Good, happy birthday,
Is she from Charlotte?
Charlene. Charlene. No, we're all from Bay Springs, Mississippi.
Okay. All right. Shout out to Mississippi. It's a
Shout
lot
out
of
to
history down
oh,
there in
oh,
Mississippi that they like to cover up and hide. I done a lot of research. I
mm,
done a lot of reading and found about some stuff in Mississippi, some artifacts that have been uncovered
really?
and they show that it proves that, black people been in this country well before slavery.
Oh,
I think that's part of the reason why I think they intentionally make Mississippi what it is because of the richness of the culture that's really there, but
mm,
it's really hidden,
it's rough.
things like that. Yeah,
It's
yeah.
rough down there. I was listening to Jasmine Crockett talk about today, like the states that are just heavily Republican, like a
Oh
Mississippi.
yeah.
Tate Reeves is just, whoo, he loved him. He loved that man. He is licking his scrotum every day he get a chance. And they didn't sign into med, like they will do stuff just that goes so against the poor people of the state. And it's not the black people ain't the only poor people. That Mississippi
Oh
Delta,
no, it's a lot of poor people.
this is
Shout out
nostalgia.
to Jasmine Crockett though. Shout out to Jasmine Crockett. I started following her, officially following her on Twitter today. I'm like, I'm down with Jasmine Crockett. She can do a lot of positive things for I mean, she has done a lot of positive things for the black community. I did some research on Jasmine Crockett because last week when I was on the show, and I hate that it was misconstrued that I was down. I said that negative about her, but she run her mouth. Well, she do run her mouth. I think we can all agree that's what she's most famous for as a house rep. She's most famous for running her mouth.
I don't think
Which
it's for. I don't. I think the term. I think if we and that's what I
I'm just
realized in
saying, right,
arguments. We always it's definitions. I think running
right.
her mouth has a negative connotation because she's just running her mouth, but she's saying something when she runs it.
I
So
mean, she
she
says stuff, but she
talks a
running
lot.
her mouth. Well. First of all, let me just state that because I asked the people in the chat last week, and I asked you, I was like, my only question was, what has she done? And nobody had any answers for me. Even Loose Neck from Texas, he said he voted for her and all this, and they got her elected and all this, but he couldn't even put in the chat, what has she done? I know that's your soror, whatever, all that, and you defended her, but you couldn't answer me what has she done. So I was like, I'm gonna do my
But I
research.
can't answer you. I can't even answer you what Marjorie Taylor Greene has done other than them.
She
There.
ain't done that. Well, she
I mean,
ain't
she's
done
writing
much.
some. She talking about legislation. She talking about Trump.
Yeah,
Is
yeah.
I ain't gonna talk about. I mean, I couldn't give you some very specifics. I don't. I guess it's just
Right.
um
Well, but
a
that's
lot of
like I
insight.
said, I gotta do my homework, do my research.
Hmm.
I did my homework on her and I found that, you know, now she has this law degree from the University of Houston. Eh, Just because, in my opinion, just because I know a lot of people with law degrees
Hmm.
and all of them ain't something, they just got a law degree. They went to school, they did what they had to do, blah,
I'm
blah.
not.
I mean, you something, you more than just your law degree. You
Oh
know what I'm
no,
saying?
no,
Some
I'm
people
not.
are just a law degree and that's it. My
Right.
lawyer got a law degree. I'm gonna shout out to JR and the Reed and Associates, shout out to them. But after she finished law school, she was a public defender in Bowie County. I guess Bowie County is in Texas. And then she started her law firm. Now, so entrepreneurship, that's big with me. So she's an entrepreneur. She started her law firm she started doing pro bono cases for people in the Black Lives Matter, especially during the George Floyd situation.
Mm-hmm.
So pro bono work for a lawyer. She's out in the community. She's trying to help people in the best way that she can, understanding that her strength or her skill set is law. So I applaud that. She's very successful in the real estate industry. So I applaud that. That's more entrepreneurship. Um, the thing I really like about her when I was doing my research is she has a husband now. I'm just gonna take it at what I researched that this is her husband, even though I gotta say the dude looks homosexual to me, But that's neither here nor there. She's took some of her profit and she's invested in him. Shot him 500,000 one time, shot him 450,000 another time. So he
For
can.
what?
So she did it under the guidelines of he's a security provider. That's what I'm saying. I like her because either she investing in her man so that he can hit a lick instead of all this, it's 50-50, he got it. No, invest in your man so he can hit a lick. Or she plays this game very shrewdly. And either way, I appreciate how she moving. So, hey, shout out to Jasmine Crockett again, man. Like I said,
You like her because she gave her man $950,000.
Yeah, this thing is not personal to me. I ask questions. I want to know what the person doing now. Since she has been in as the House representative, she filed more House bills than any other first timer in U.S. history. Now, none of them got passed, of course, but she trying. She doing her best. She's speaking out for a lot of Black people, definitely when it comes to things like police reform, amongst, other things, education reform. So she's really out there trying to do her best. It's just that, unfortunately, because of her character, how she moves, how she talks, I think she's getting a lot of backlash, or she's not getting support from other members in the House the way that I would hope she would. But I give her E for effort, man. She doing her best. She really speaking out and she really standing up for Black people the best she can, the best she know how. And it's genuine. So make sure y'all follow Jasmine Crockett on Twitter. I said it last week because she does offer information on breaking down these executive orders, breaking down bills that she's trying to get done, things that she didn't get done, or what's actually getting done by other people. So, hey, shout out to Jasmine Crockett, man. All love to the sister.
Well, we appreciate the love.
Yeah, I mean, contrary to people believe, I actually do love Black women. My daughter Black, my grandmama Black, my mama Black, all my aunts Black. I mean, I don't know. I got multiple baby mamas, they all Black, so it is.
Appreciate you keeping it in the delegation.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Yeah, got to.
Well, I'm glad that you found that she was to your liking.
Yeah, she definitely to my liking.
And I appreciate Jasmine Crockett. I understand that in politics, unfortunately, the way it's set up, and they keep, when Trump came in the first time, he said he was going to drain the swamp, get rid of, career politicians and all that. And that's why we were so happy on the Democratic side that, AOC and Ilya in Minnesota and Jasmine Crockett and like different representatives, it looked more like the fabric of America. Because I promise these people, they don't know nothing about our life. I remember when they shut down the government one time and people were like, most of us live, unfortunately, paycheck to paycheck. I got enough to cover the bills for the first part. I got enough to cover the bills for the next part. So if you shut something down, which she has mentioned in a talk today, that she thinks if things don't go the way that the current president administration wants, the government will probably shut down on the 14th of February, which is going to affect American families and, all these kind of things. And so when they did it, there was this politician that got on there, one of these, and he said, well, they just charge it. Just go charge it on a card. Sir, what card? What are you talking about? I'm not about to go charge groceries like
right.
Crazy.
Right.
So it is oh Lord, let me make sure my phone out. So it's just interesting. And I think the way politics works, unfortunately, you can be a junior senator or a junior representative, and you don't have as many, they don't put you on as many committees, or because I remember Marjorie Taylor Greene got taken off for a minute because she was just off the chain. She was acting a monkey, so they put her on. They put her off committee for a while. She back, of course, because of what's happening. But yeah, it's you can present legislation. There's a guy in Mississippi legislator right now, a young black man who's presenting legislation that is supporting the moment you get hard should be when we talk about conception, so that men are just as responsible for this baby as women. Now, of course, we were all like, hold up, they just trying to come after little black boys. They all gonna be in prison. But he was really trying to write the legislation to make a point that it is just as much the man's responsibility as it is the woman's in this whole, you can't go have an abortion, you can't like it. So it's just interesting.
But anybody should understand how making a baby work. I mean, I don't know, maybe some people parents didn't teach them about the birds and the bees.
We know how it happens, but most of the time, because we have to carry it, unfortunately, mama can't never go nowhere. I mean, she can after them 9 months.
Mama can kill the baby if she want to.
She can, but
we're talking and people always criticize a man if he leave or whatever, he don't want to be with her, but they'll never criticize the one for murdering the baby.
They do criticize.
I don't know, it's weird to me.
They do criticize it. That's why they have all those people out there picketing when you try to go.
Right.
That's why they have people at one time murdering at abortion clinics. Which like you're gonna kill the people, but you don't want them to kill.
Right. That's weird too. Right. Don't blow up the abortion clinic. You not
that helps.
You contributed to what you saying you against. It don't mean no
murder.
sense.
Everybody gotta die. What?
Right. It just it's unfortunate, Look, man, I don't like when we play the race card too much, and we water it down because we sometimes play the race card when it's unnecessary. And also, I don't like when we both black up here. You're a black female. I'm a black male. Okay. Everything a black, like Snoop Dogg, when they did that performance, Rick Ross and all them performed at the inauguration, you came down on these folks.
I did, just like we came down on Michelle.
Right. And you had every right to come down on them folks because of how you felt. But guess what? That don't mean that you hate black men. It just means you disagree with them black men did.
I love black men.
Just because I come down on a black female or disagree with something that a black female does,
but not
it don't mean I hate black female. No. Look, last week I preferenced everybody. I said I talked to y'all about how much I love Michelle Obama, what I think, what I like that she's done, how I appreciate her. I disagree with her not being there that one day, those 2 days, with her man. Now all of a sudden I hate black women. No, I disagree with what that black woman did in that moment.
But yours is coupled with the other things you've said about you. You were on Jasmine Crockett that night. You were on
I ain't saying that night about Jasmine Crockett.
I don't think she don't do but run her mouth, and that has a bad connotation though. But when you say run your mouth or she speaks truth to power, those are two different ways of looking at it. No, that's
truth to power. She runs her mouth.
She's not just running her mouth. That lady's giving us information. How else she get information?
I'm saying this is what I was saying. When you filed, because I just reported that she's filed the most House bills to any other first timer in U.S. history.
But that's not how you said it last year.
Okay, now, because I ain't had that information. But even with me having that information, understand that she filed a record amount of House bills, and none of them got passed in the law. It boils down to she just running her mouth. She ain't getting that done. But that's why I had to do the research to find out what has she actually done. And when I did that research, I found out what she's done more outside of the House of Representatives that she has done inside the House of Representatives.
Passed doesn't mean not because do anything. It just means people didn't vote. Like y'all be blaming stuff on people that can't make it happen.
I mean, I'm not coming down on. I'm saying she ain't gotten it done, but like I said, she's doing her best to get something done. Unfortunately, she has other people in that same house that are on the opposition, and they're outnumbering her, and they're not helping. I
don't know if it's just the way you phrase it. It just feels like, and maybe in your heart you're saying it a certain way, but when it come out your mouth, it
right. I said how I said, but it's the truth. I mean,
it's not.
I know it might sound bad, but it is what it is.
Just running her mouth now. She run her mouth, writing bills and
she run her mouth real good. Like Floyd Mayweather used to run his mouth too before the fight. I'd be like, man, he talked some good trash. The difference is he go in there, he win the fight. She ain't winning the fight right now inside of the House of Rep, but she doing her best, and I applaud her for doing her best. I don't want to stick on Jasmine Crockett for too long because we both love the sister. At the end of the day, we both
Don't feel like
acknowledge
love.
that.
Yours feels like something else, but
No, I
okay.
mean, I
I feel
like I
like you the
say,
man that'll beat you up, and I know you don't put your hands on women, so let's clear that up.
like I
You the
say,
man that beat him and be like, but I love you, and the girl feel like I
yeah.
know.
Sometimes tough love is tough love, but like I say, uh, I
Mm.
encourage people to go follow. If I didn't appreciate it, I wouldn't tell you to go follow her on Twitter so you can get this information. Go
Okay,
get this information. She really is working for us.
you're
And I
right.
like the fact that she done infiltrated these folks' system in order to try to change it from the inside. And she doing it all lawfully and legally. And everybody got their own way in which they can help. So I'm glad that she's doing it the way that she's doing it. So I applaud the sister. Now, the other people that we about to talk about, Arlie, they just doing too much.
Mama, you doing too much.
Y'all. So this is really personal to me. So let me just say that so y'all know this is personal to me. There is a couple in Texas, Loose Neck, you might know them, that had this business, blessings in the, what was it called? BITN. Lord, I done lost the name of it. Anyway, they were
BINT.
blessings in what is it? BINT. Was it BINT? I think it was
Yeah,
BITN.
it's one of them.
Anyway, these couple, young couple, decided that back during the pandemic, when everybody was struggling with their money and everybody couldn't go to work and stuff, they were going to start this pyramid scheme where you would water people. So they had like fire would be the entry, then it would go to earth, and would go to wind, and then you'd be watered, and then you'd make whatever around this. I was like 1,400 times, I think 8, because the people, when they fired, which was where I got stopped, these poor people are not poor. They have been federal government, feds got involved. Lord, let me get that right. And they are going to serve some time. They were accused of laundering $10 million because what
Yep.
they were doing was not paying the people that they claim were getting watered out. And it looks like a whole bunch of other charges will also be attached to them. And so I sent Notty I was like, this
Yeah,
was a
this was
scheme
a
that we had in
this ain't
Atlanta.
even this ain't even, and it is BINT. It's called the Blessings in No Time.
Lessons in
but
no time. The one
but
here in Atlanta wasn't called that, and it was on that app, Telegram app, and that's how you communicate. And it was hundreds of people in there, and you had to be trying
right,
to look for your name, and they tell you when the water, and you cash app the person
right.
the money, and then the people, it would go up, and then I want to find the girl that I cashed up. I got her picture. That's mine. Y'all see me stuck over there in the corner. Happy Blessed
Arlie,
Day.
this don't look like a pyramid. This look like an octagon.
It
This is
is,
something a
but
little bit more intricate than a
right. But
pyramid.
you see, them people in the red were the fire, and we would fire the next level, which was like water, and then we fire then the people would come behind us, fire us. We go to the next one, and then the thing would split. That's why mine
Right,
said like 4F. So there was like a 4 ABCDEFG. I mean, it was so much money in that thing, and the reason I did it was because I knew somebody who got watered out.
right.
But now I'm wondering, like, did they water all the people? Like, were they
What?
doing the same way? Because this somebody, that girl got watered. When I gave her that $1,400 and Jimmy gave it to her, and CC and Renita and whoever else over there, then that Sandy Amon, Sandy Diamond, SA
Well,
Diamond, whatever, got all the monies.
what was that one with the money? This was somebody got watered
Yeah,
out.
she got watered out.
Okay,
Congratulations and thank you to all the fires of the family who were a part of her blessing. It was
okay.
called BF. I can't think of what it was called. And I tried to go back in my Telegram. But I had dismantled it. I was so mad at that thing because that was a lot of money for me. I don't make that kind of money. And I was like, oh, I'm gonna take a chance because people were getting watered like
Right.
11,000 and some change. I think it was like $11,700 because there was like a little admin fee on it. And they were getting watered out. And I was like, that will really help because I was doing some home improvement projects and we weren't working because I was considered a gig. I am a gig worker, and we couldn't do any gigs. We couldn't go anywhere because they had all the vending. So,
Right.
yeah, I lost money in that.
You had to
So
roll the dice.
I tried and it
I
did not
feel
work.
you.
So
I feel
those
you.
people, that couple was doing that exact same thing. Their little one. Now, did you have what theirs looked like? You said you found one. and theirs looked a little bit different, but it was still the exact same thing. So when I read
Right,
that today,
they'll
I
look
was
just like
like,
that. They'll look exactly like the one you. I figured that's what you was down with, the one they had going on.
I wish in
Lashonda
Texas.
Moore and Marlon Moore, 35 and
30
37 years old.
and they are gonna go to federal prison because
Right, right,
they in trouble.
right.
Blessings on the way now. And
Yeah,
people, they were watering just themselves or their family or their friends. And I'm not sure how they were
right.
able to, I guess because it was all online, there's no way to like you weren't going to one of those meetings or something and seeing people, you just seeing it online and you gotta believe what they did. They at
Right.
home fabricating all that little story.
Oh yeah, they schemed a lot of black people too, which I don't like it. You know, we kind of talked about it a little bit last week when sometimes we we do it to ourselves. It's already enough that we got to deal with the opposition. But now we got to when you got to fight a war on two fronts. Sometimes you fight a war on three fronts because you got to go against the opposition, which is the obvious. Then you got black people who gonna screw you over. Then sometimes you gotta deal with your family who don't want to do you right. Then you might got an ex-man or ex-bro who got some hurt feelings hard.
Coming
You
for you.
fighting a war on four different fronts.
You just
That
north,
makes it
south,
hard
east,
to
and
win.
west.
$10.76 million judgment against the couple. As part of the civil settlement, the Moores were ordered to pay at least $450,000 into the fund that would help reimburse the victims. Hold on now. Maybe the math ain't mathing to me and it mathing to somebody else. You got over $10 million in scam money, but you only got to pay out 450,000. Hold on, we missing a
Missing
whole $1 million.
9 million,
We
nine
missing
and a half
10 because it's
million
over
dollars.
10.
Oh yeah.
It's
I
10.76 million. You got to pay at least 450,000. Where is the other 10 million at? I need to know.
I mean, I'm sure they're going to, I mean, those people that did the PPP loans, they had to tell when they were doing silly stuff like buying Porsche, excuse me, and, elaborate stuff. They weren't, putting it in real estate. I guess, I don't know how you would have hid it. I don't know. People were scamming and I got on,
I mean,
I don't think I got scammed so much as
right.
I didn't get watered.
Right. You didn't get what? I mean, you lost money. You rolled the dice. Sometimes when you roll the dice, you crap out. I mean, that's part of rolling the dice. It's a gamble.
I was very sad because
Yeah.
there was, and your mama said, "Oh, Arle got money." Arle does not have money. That's why Arle was in the bed sick about that for a minute. I was like, I can't even tell nobody
Now,
because I can't get it back. I didn't have no way to get it back.
Now these folks, I was reading in the article that these folks gained credibility from people because they were on a reality show on the Oprah network, the OWN network. And so people
about fiancés and finances, I think, or something
like that, right? Couples in finances. So people actually start trusting them based on the TV show and were like, yeah, these folks are legit. Let me put my money down. Now, these people, they not as, I mean, I know they got caught up because the government
money was corrupt.
Yeah, but and with me, I've been studying for to get my life and health insurance license to sell life and health insurance, annuities, and living benefits and all this kind of thing. And one thing I learned was the government has a lot of ways to track whether or not the money funny. And if you try to put some money here, or you try to separate accounts, put money there, you try to take money, they actually following the money very close with a fine tooth comb.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm pretty sure now these folk was still at least smart enough to put some of their money under the floor,
I hope
put it in the wall, take it to your auntie house, let your auntie put it in the attic somewhere because all the money ain't there,
Yeah. Yeah. I just, that's going to be interesting to find out where the other $10 million is. Or maybe they just don't, maybe they can only, I don't know that. I don't know the Fed laws on money laundering. Like sometimes they don't, you never have to pay all of it. So,
right.
Set up. Why they don't have to find
Right. Well, this is the No Show with Arle Notty. Make sure y'all hit that like, that
subscribe.
And share with somebody. Right.
Other people come see what we talking about so they can be know-it-alls too.
Yeah. You gotta, get this information. Maybe Arle, maybe you can help somebody. Maybe you save somebody today from getting into an octagon.
Don't get it in the octagon because the pyramids ain't working. Get your don't do it. Don't do it.
Right. Don't get in that octagon.
Mm-mm.
We got a great relate today. We ain't did one of those in a
Hadn't had a
minute.
great relate in a while. Let's
Yeah.
see what
So
we gonna relate with.
we when we get back from this short break, we're gonna get into the great relate that Arle has set up for us this week. And we're gonna do that right here on the No Show.
We're gonna talk about it and we'll be right back.
Y'all stay tuned. Is it too early to tell y'all what I was thinking about yesterday then on this note?
Go ahead. Here we go. Get ready to dump you.
I really thought about this for about an hour yesterday.
Okay. All right, let's hear it.
2028, man, I'm thinking about running for president of the United States. If I start right now today,
Notty,
if I start my,
you got my support, man.
because
You
guess
got
what
my
I'm gonna do?
support.
I was thinking about a reparations plan. I was thinking about a re-education plan, getting teachers raises. Like
Right.
I really was formulating my whole campaign. And I said, if I start today, in 4 years, will I be ready to be president of the United States of America?
Like I just said, Donald Trump with no experience was president of the United States of America. He's got a good chance of winning again. Hell no. Why not?
Right.
I believe in you. I trust you. I believe in you way more than I do Trump. So
I
why
figure
would I
in
vote
2
for you,
years-
Notty?
He said, she said, I don't know what they said. Ooh, he said, she said.
Sister, I would put that girl on game. Dating is not for fun, it's for marriage, and do not do it before 25. One of the most boring things a man could ask you is, what do you bring to the table? If he asks you to send a picture of yourself, next. And if they offer to fly you out, seems fun. But if he's serious, he'll come to you. All you're hanging on to is the sweet things that he's saying. Cut the cord. The only thing that matters is what he's doing consistently over time. Instead of focusing on what you don't want, focus on what you do want. Write down what you do want. Because unhealthy can come in so many different forms, but healthy, it kind of looks the same over and over again. If you're dumb in love, be smart in dating. Once those blinders are on, girl.
So that young lady, it was a little more to it in between. I cut like all of her commentary in between each of the little points she gave. But I thought it was interesting because, and I didn't look at anything else she posted. I have young nieces that I'm always, trying to school on the way that, in a way that we were not schooled growing up. My mom and dad and my mama and cousin, female, like older family members, aunts and stuff, didn't really give you a lot of intel on like, think about this, do this, blah, 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 which I hate. They didn't. So when I saw this, I sent it to my little nieces. They hadn't responded, but I thought it was pretty good information. Like, don't get married before a certain time. You don't even know yourself yet. If, this dude is asking you, and what she went on to explain about, if he asked you what you bring to the table, he should have already been observing what you're capable of or what you're doing, similar to how you're doing with him, the reason y'all are even on a date. So that's what you bring to the table. I don't know.
Right.
To my own table. I don't know. So yeah, I thought some of what she said was very interesting. I know you had a very different take.
Oh yeah, her name is Amber Henry. She's 28 years old, 28 or 29. She's single. She has a daughter named Ivy. Once she had the baby, she left the baby daddy and ran as far as way she could. So this is another situation. Right. There's another situation where you got this unmarried woman with a baby, single mother, who wants to give advice, on what it takes to get married when she's not married herself. I just don't understand it. And she's doing all of this while she's putting on her makeup, masking her face up, covering herself up. Probably got a little wig on. I think I saw a picture of her without all that makeup and without that the weave in, and this is what she looked like.
Oh Lord, that is not true. You so evil. That girl ain't doing all of that. Anyway, when you listen to Notty, she probably is gorgeous outside of the makeup. We saw her before she put it all on, and she looked good. And that's not the
We
point.
ain't see it before she put it all on. We saw it while she was in the middle of. She was getting the eye part right.
Well, when you put concealer on, you ain't got nothing else. Oh, you had to put concealer first. So her face was clean when she started, Notty.
Oh man.
But nonetheless, I think sometimes people think you can't give good advice. If you've had the mistake, then you got some advice. Like you might know.
Yeah, but some of that advice she was giving, I just disagree with. what was the first thing she was like?
She said, "Don't get married before you 20. Before you 25. Before you
That's
28. Before you
that's
28.
crazy to me.
Why? You don't know yourself. I got married
Look,
before that time, and I should not have. I should have waited.
look,
28 for something happened at 28. I don't know what it was. I don't
look.
know if anybody in the chat can agree, and you're watching the No Show with Arle and Notty. If you can agree, something happened at 28. For those of you who have made it to 28, some clicks. It be like, I don't know what it was. I think it's a great
Man,
number.
I know folk who been married, who got married in their late 20s or early 30s. My grandparents back now, that's a long time ago.
You
They
get
got
married when
married
you're
as
18,
teenagers.
19.
Right, teenagers. But and I'm not a Bible thumper and then like that, but there is universal wisdom. I mean, there is divine wisdom inside the Bible. I agree. And one other thing it teaches is it's better to marry while you're young. So all this, I'm on the wait. Hey, why you gonna wait till you've been used and abused? You
But
already got a
28, you already
baby.
using
Now
when
you
you're
got.
28? I don't think
I mean,
so.
she been used and abused clearly. I mean, she already got a baby on hand. She already. Ain't no telling how many times
Maybe
she been
did she
ran
think she was
through.
gonna marry the guy?
Ain't no time. I mean, I don't know. I'm just saying, ain't no telling how many times she got ran through. Now you get 30, 35. Now you want to get married and you expect somebody to take you when you already been used and abused. You already been molded by some other man. That's why it's best, in my opinion, it's best if you find somebody early. And but some
And
like you said,
neither one of y'all got no sense in your
but like
frontal
you
lobe
said,
trying to tell
sometimes
you.
it take guidance from the older elders. The elders gotta give you that game early. This is
Right.
things we supposed to be knowing. And me and my friend, me and my homeboy Z, shout out to Z. We
Shout
talk
out to
about it
you.
all the time.
And you
That
watching the No Show?
right, that he was like, man, I wish my uncles would have told me certain stuff about women when I was younger. I wish they would have told me this and that. These are things we pick up as we get older.
Oh,
Now we can talk to our kids and our nephews about it and try to prepare them for what they got coming ahead. And don't get me wrong, they still gonna fall in the traps and the
right.
snails. But at least when they do, they can say, that's what Aunt was telling me about. That's what my
Right.
daddy was telling me about. Like, you ain't got to keep making that same mistake over and over to realize that
It's a mistake.
right, this is what happened. I should have listened. This what he meant when he told me this what she gonna do. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? So just like you, I'm pretty sure there's some things with women, the older women can tell you about. He gonna do this, he gonna say this, he gonna and when he do this,
But I
then you
don't
can
think
do
people
X,
really
Y,
want to
Z.
tell you. That's what I've come to conclusion. Like I think
You're
they
right.
embarrassed to even tell you that stuff sometimes. Like that's all I can come up with. They got to
I
be.
I agree. I think sometimes they don't want to tell you some of the mistakes that they made
Nope.
and tell the truth. That like your older aunts or whoever you got, they don't want to tell you, man, I ran through. I was hot in the pants and I had this dude and I had two dudes
Or they
then.
don't want to tell you my husband used to do this and I allowed him to do it and I did
Right,
this to him. Blah. They're
right,
not gonna tell you. They just
right,
want to make
right.
everything. My cousins and I laugh after one of them I had got married first, and then one of my other cousins, we were all talking like at a family function. We were like, did your mama come to you afterwards? Like, oh, let me tell you, it's rough now. You want? I was like, that's the stuff you should have been telling me before I walked down the aisle, so I could be prepared. Because
Right,
now I'm
right,
not
right.
prepared. I done gone down this aisle, and I'm wondering, like, oh, they must have been saints because how are they making? They're like, oh no, it was rough. We got into such and such and this, and I was like, nobody bothered. We laughed about that. We sat around the table, all of us that are in the same age group, and we'd all just got married. And we were like, what the hell? And they could have told us before this, not to discourage us from doing it, more so to give you intel. Like, just so
Right.
you know, it's not abnormal to be arguing about whatever the thing is. You start at when I first was married, I felt like something was wrong with me. Like, but then about my mama couldn't have been dealing with this because this crazy. But they were, they
Yeah.
just didn't tell you.
Right,
So,
right. And I'm pretty sure there's a few things that are different based on the era that a person is in. The things that they were doing in the 40s and 50s with technology and the way the system has moved and shifted, it's gonna be different than what happened in the 90s. It's gonna be different than what happened in
it just,
2010 all the way up to 2025.
yep,
So,
it will be.
but they're listening to your grandparents, they're listening to your parents, your aunts, your uncles, and you got older cousins and things like that. So it kind of you can bridge the gap, a little bit here and there. But sometimes it's unfortunate that we get all our information from TV shows and movies
And
and
for the
these
little girls, we want to be in a fairy tale because that's all we watched when we were little. All our cartoons was the prince coming
Right.
to get you and all that stuff. Honey, the
Right.
prince ain't coming. The knight in shining armor, he is missing. Okay.
Right. You know, I mean the
Just
girls I
hold on.
said I done heard say where my Django at? Like this is a movie, it was scripted. No,
You know, it
no.
was I mean, maybe
Now, don't get me wrong. A man might come up, pull up on their horse, and come through and save you from the white folk. It might happen, but I'm just saying, for the most part, this is a movie that was scripted. It was written. It was directed. It was produced. It had a cast of characters.
but I live in Fantasyland. That's probably why I'm not, because in my mind, I know the knight in shining armor not coming.
Right.
I know that, but
I
they'll
mean,
be hoping.
don't get me wrong. I to a certain degree, I live in Fantasyland too, but I'm real with myself in acknowledging that, man, I got to get out of Fantasyland. Like this ain't this thing that I believe that's called love may not really exist. So you know, I don't know. I'm still hopeful.
Yeah,
But
right.
you know,
Maybe it's but I was talking to somebody the other day about it being a business transaction. And I really still believe that, just like other contracts, like if you play in the NFL, NBA, or if you go to work, they give you like you got a 90-day grace period, or you got a 5-year contract, and in 5 years, we're gonna relook at it and see where you are every year to year. I think relationships should be like that too.
well, you know, back in the
You're
day,
not meeting your standards, and we're gonna have to let you go, sir.
well, you know, back in the day, you know, marriages were arranged based on family. It was based on business.
Yep, it was.
I'm gonna give you my daughter. You're gonna pay me X amount, and
5 calves and a goat.
right, and they gonna have this little land, and they gonna work, and we gonna do business. We gonna every year you gonna give me
marrying their sisters and having babies. So I mean, I don't know.
I mean, it was a lot. It was a lot back then.
I'm reading the Bible from the front to back right now, and this is a scandal.
Well, I mean, you gotta understand. According to the Bible, you know, if Adam and Eve being the first people in the Bible, people don't even know about Lilith, but that's in Apocrypha. That's a whole nother story. But there had to be incest. You only got 2 people. You gotta start somewhere. Your brothers and sisters gotta, your cousins gotta. It ain't enough people to go out there and be picking and choosing. So at a certain point, it had to be all incest, if that's the truth of how the history went. So, but anyway.
You are watching the No Show with Notty and Arle. I am typing to people in the chat saying,
shout out who in the chat today. Shout them out. Shout some people out in the chat. Shout them out.
Julius 35C, loose neck, right on.
Julius 35C, what's happening?
Hey, Mama Stacy. KK Ash,
right.
Jungle Brother, FM, and
FM
John
solid, man. FM
Mocha
real solid.
Bella, Ryan,
Sweet Mocha,
Stewart, Robert DJ EASC Campbell, DJ Easy C. Get it, Arle. Reading with Arle. You got it. Romero Head in the chat. What's up?
All right, shout out Romero.
All of y'all.
All right, that's for sure. Hey, we get back. We're gonna take a short break. We're gonna get back. We're gonna get into a little bit of encouragement, should I say? And then we're gonna finish up.
I don't know how not
from Arle. From Arle. Yeah. I mean, you know, I think it's 100, but we'll see. We'll get the reaction. Yeah. I don't know. So y'all get y'all questions ready too for the 5 honest answers, because this is gonna be the last break we're gonna take before we get out of here.
We're gonna take before we break for the date. Hey, I was trying to rhyme. It didn't work. It's okay. Just gotta work on it. Gotta work on my spit. I'm in my Drake mode. I think Notty froze. Y'all, I'm sitting here dancing.
Have you ever been stranded on the side of the road, Arle?
I must have froze, but I'm back.
It's not
We'll
comfortable.
see y'all in 1 second.
No. I was like, Notty not dancing. What is happening?
Have you ever been stranded on the side of the road, Arle?
Yes.
It's not comfortable, is it?
No.
Dogs and poodles, if you find yourself in a jam on the side of the highway, give my folks at Bay 11 Towing a call, 404-770-6949. Again, that's 404-770-6949. Being stranded on the side of the road in Metro Atlanta is very stressful and dangerous. Bay 11 Towing is who you need to call whether you're dealing with a flat tire, dead battery, full-on breakdown, or whatever that may have you on the side of the road, call our folks at Bay 11 Towing, and they will get to you with a competitive rate and quicker than everybody else in town. Again, that's Bay 11 Towing. That number is 404-770-6949.
Hey y'all, what's up? It's Friday, so I'm gonna keep it black, but I'm gonna keep it brief. These people are not motherfucking playing. Now that that's settled, there's a lot to recap and recount that I won't. If you expect me to have some sort of master plan, I don't. But just because they're up there carrying on Project 2025 as we told you they would, raining down oppressive statute after oppressive statute, strategy is not lost on us. Going to encourage you not to let fear distract you in this moment. This seemingly relentless, very fast shift in power is designed to present a brute show of force with a menacingly imperious and impervious level of propaganda. And that's great, actually. That means we know what time it is. We fear what we do not understand, right? So never forget that you actually understand exactly what's going on here, so just do not engage. Fear-mongering and rage baiting will become routine, online and in person. So if there was ever a time to shut our asses up, it's now. And I'm telling you to sit back, learn, and move in silence. My granddaddy used to say, you let somebody talk long enough, they'll tell you everything you need to know. But we need not show our hand. Of all this, it's time for you to tap into community. That means to engage in community relief efforts. Educate yourself on community resources. Be more open to the people who look like you, and let go of the individualism that is set up to leave us weak and vulnerable. And while you're at it, shut up about it. Why? Because the revolution will not be televised, and it won't be on social media either.
It won't be on social media either.
I can appreciate that message right there. Let me give her a shout out. Give her a clap, applause from the audience. Her name is Lene. What was it? Lene Vani? Lene Vani?
I don't know her last name or pronounce it right, but I've always followed her with her parking lot pimping, and she has moved it from the parking lot to like a whole movement. She has a nonprofit organization that, you know, is big on local voting, but like all the things that matter. And I think she speaks to a generation of people who really don't understand how it works, but have all this anger and this frustration about the process. And so I think they listen to her. I love the way she does. We're gonna keep it brief, but we're gonna keep it pimping.
Yeah, I like how she broke that down.
Does it? And it's important. The actual video, if anybody's interested to go find her, it's 4 minutes and some change long. She had a whole bunch of other stuff in there about how, you know, these people are all upset because when they give us this little bit of freedom, and then when we, you know, showcase our talents and get our 15 minutes of fame or whatever, and they like, it's too much. Just take it right. Y'all never gave us no freedom in the first place. So
they changed the rules.
Right. Very similar to Kimberly Jones, who gave the great analogy during the riots in 2020 related to George Floyd, who she gave a great analogy. And it always is stuck with me when she said it's like playing Monopoly. And for 400 rounds of Monopoly, you just have to sit there and watch. They won't give you a turn. They won't let you roll. Then when they do, for the last 50 little hands, they won't let you buy but certain properties on there. You can't gain any wealth. You can't do anything. Right. So that's the reason why we burn it down.
Right. Well,
it ain't in this no way.
It's exactly like Monopoly, but like she said, they've been playing. So by the time you get on the board and start rolling dice, most of the property done brought up, right? Yeah. They done went through the community chest. We done reshuffled the community chest and put that back in. Matter of fact, not only did we put it back in, we're gonna tell you which one you can pick. We already know which card you pick. You know what I'm saying? You gotta pay these taxes.
Yeah. And because we haven't been at the table or understand how the stuff works because we weren't allowed to, you know, that goes to you always saying we play the victim, and we're not playing victim. We are actually victims. I believe that we are victims. Now we can continue to wallow in it, which I think is what you're really saying. Like, don't continue to wallow in it. Do something about it.
Right, do something about it.
Africa is a victim of all them countries coming over there and taking all this stuff. And then at some point you end up, you know, we are victims of having been brought over here and told all kind of false.
The ones that were brought over here, like I said, we've already been here before slavery even began, before the white folk came over here, before the Spanish came over here. We was already here. You know,
well, unfortunately, we can't really prove some, and I don't say this to discount what you're saying. I'm saying it. I wish I had, you know, how some of these people can go, and they might be lying. I don't know, but it feels like they can go back in the bank. You can look, and they got 7 generations of trust.
They erased a lot of our history. Right? They erased our religion. They erased our language. A lot of stuff is not. You have to go into the deep wells of where Black people are to really get the information that we need. And then when we do go into the deep wells of the Black people that got the information and we start reading this information, we don't believe them. because white folk ain't taught us that. And, like we
I don't know
expect
if you
our
don't believe me.
oppressors
I
to
just feel like
educate us.
that's like, let me tell you though, you're right. And that is, you never gonna, the line is never gonna tell the story, what happened to the sheep, the right way that it happened. But
Right.
I think where you and I have our bumping of heads, I don't expect them to, if you always thought Stacey McKenzie was your mama and woke up one day and she was like, well, let me tell you what happened, Notty. I'm
Right.
really not your mama. I'm your sister. And like, that's going to shake the foundation of who you are. At least most of us.
It
It might
would.
not do it for you. And I think
It
that's what
would.
happens with this information overload of like, we did what? Lake Lanier had black people that was theirs. It's
Right.
like it's everywhere. And it's so
Right.
much. And we're fighting so many fires that
Right.
we tired. There are days like when I'm dealing with my son's workers' comp stuff. It was days I literally like, I just got to lay my head down. It's too much. I
Oh,
can't.
yeah.
I can't fight no more today. I just need to lay my head down, cut off the light for a minute, and just decompress. So that's
Right.
really
Well,
what I think happens.
When it comes to like victims, like the idea is that victims are weak. That's why they were allowed. That's why they were conquered, because they were the weak. They weren't the strong. They weren't the most brilliant. For whatever reason, they're able to be taken over.
But if you're harmed, if you are not the majority, if it's 300 of you and 6,000 of them, the likelihood of you winning, unless you David with a slingshot and you knocking down Goliath, and it could happen, but the likelihood is not happening.
Understand, when it comes to this planet Earth, it's more people that look like us and that look like them. It's just in America outnumbered.
But what they've done a good job is putting us, and that's what she said in the video as well. Like, they've pitted us against one another, which makes us weak and vulnerable. Because it's like the little lamb, the survival of the fittest. If you all in the herd, that's why they travel in herds, so we can all protect each other. But if you get outside the herd, I can't, and so many of us are outside the herd. We can't decide if we gonna boycott Target, Walmart, who we not going to. We can't decide.
Yeah, well, we all supposed to be boycotting Target. I think we all supposed to be boycotting Target.
We are.
I mean, I've been boycotting Target for years. Now all of a sudden they doing the DEI thing. Now folks like, oh, we are the boy. Like, y'all ain't been hit to Target before this.
No, because Target was giving opportunities.
I ain't been to Target in 20 years.
Well, Target was giving opportunities to people that look like us better than some of the other companies were, and so we were taking our opportunities. I didn't know. I don't shop in Target because it's a little more expensive than I want to pay for stuff. However, I did know that there were a lot of DEI when you go back there in several sections, and they will make it very known, like in the cosmetics back there in the cooking section, like it was. And I'm like, oh, this is nice. They put up, they're letting you know whose is what, so you know to get it.
Right.
But that also is playing against us. Those particular people are now saying y'all don't not shop there when we could shop to them direct. Like we're so torn. And that's why I said on my video, we in Montgomery, some of them was gonna still be fine riding the bus every day. And there were some that were fine riding
exactly
the bus. Sacrifice is not easy.
At the end of the day, we're responsible for DEI. At the end of the day, if you walk into a business and you don't see nobody that looks like you in that business, you got a choice to make. Do I want to spend my money here in this business, or do I want to take my business elsewhere? And if you decide to spend your money right there, then you for what they've going for anyway. Or you can take your money and go support black businesses. You can go support more diverse businesses. You don't have to spend your money there. You know what's going on. You got eyes, you can see.
But some of it, and again, we talk about sacrifice. Some of it is convenience. Right. I'm not gonna drive way over there, or I don't know how to. But like you said earlier, Notty, we fighting on four fronts. You know,
right.
Go to their place, they don't like us. And I have a good friend that always said, he always wanted to spend his money in go to the black neighborhood, the black restaurant. And he's like, I'm not going to give them my green if they don't want it. It's really about the green, and I don't think we as people understand our full buying power. Which is why I stopped going to Dugan's. When Dugan's used to charge to get in there, I'll be hot. Like, we gonna pay our tab. We gonna give y'all so I'm not going in there. Now, I did go a couple of times. I ain't gonna lie.
Dugan's.
I ain't gonna lie.
That's why. And get what? Dugan's closed down.
They did.
Because folks got help me like I'm not doing this.
But they were doing it to us. I would go like just on a random night to like Twitch.
Yeah,
we still charge other people, but then when we go on whatever our night was, Friday night, it would be a $4 cover charge or something. I'm like, why y'all charging? Because they claim we don't tip or we don't pay, but we buying beverages. We gonna drink, we gonna eat. We are spenders of large, especially in like stuff. And if we would just if we could just stand together long enough to bankrupt one of these folks, they would realize we're not playing. But they dangle a little carrot. Hey, we'll give you a discount. Or like they got Tabitha. Everybody love Miss Tabitha Franklin. They love her. And she comes on and says, y'all don't do, I understand if you feel like you have to, and I know, but that's gonna hurt my pocket and blah, blah, blah. Well,
right. And another thing I like what she said is we know what's going on. Let's not act like we don't know what's going on. They showing their hand, and which is another reason why I like when they show their hands. I like when I see a guy riding the truck, and they got the Confederate flag on the front. Okay, now I know how to deal with this guy. I know who he is and what he represents. I like the idea of if you get rid of DEI and you go in this building and they ain't got nothing but these folks working up there. Okay, now I know where they stand. I know they ain't got nothing for me here. I know that they politics they're gonna use their political capital to go against our communities and what we got going. So we got to get them out of the community. Like, I like when people expose themselves for being who they really are. I don't like when people get to hide in our face and still treat us like trash. I just don't like it. So yeah,
and I'm with you. I didn't want them to take, and I know people looking at that ain't right. I didn't want them to take down. Well, FM said, "Yep, they leave all the Confederate flags and statues up." I didn't agree. I wasn't.
No, not statues. No, statues.
I was fine with all of that, the street, all the names, because I know how we are as a people. We're not gonna go learn nothing different. So if you take it down, then I'm gonna just act like it never existed, and then it's easier for me to bring it back. You know what I mean? That's how I was thinking, because we don't educate ourselves enough to understand, and we're all learning and growing. I'm not coming down on anybody, but we don't go. We just don't do this. We don't do the work. It's so, and again, I only can say that because I feel like we fight so much. We're fighting in the educational front. We're fighting trying to get grants. And, if a homeless man that look like this walk in the bank and ask for some money, they'll give it to him before they give it to us with a full business plan and all the information and stats and all that. So we know what we're dealing with. We just tired. I was tired. Like the 92%, we tired. We're not Black women, like we might not have a plan right now, but just hold on. And a lot of that stuff happens around the kitchen table, around the spaces where we got to figure it out and do it. And like
we don't do that no more. We don't sit around the kitchen table. We don't make dinner with our kids and talk to them and get them the game. We ain't at grandmama's house. When grandmamas passed away, I know in my family, when my grandma and granddaddy passed away, like my granddaddy passed away first, my grandmama was strong. She kept the family together, tight. My grandma passed away, man. We all over the place, man. It ain't the same. It's unfortunate, man. I got people who mad at me and the family now because me and you do a podcast. It's silly, just silly stuff.
What happened?
Right. My uncle, man. My uncle, shout out, man. But it's all good. I still love him. But I like what she said. As far as once again, they showing the hand. Community, educate ourselves on the resources. Like I like the post you put today about shopping Black businesses and all the Black businesses. Like we doing everything. We selling everything. Sometimes you just gotta find this. But once you find this and put somebody else on and let them put somebody else on and let's start supporting each other.
But we got to do right when we start supporting. And I tell people this about Black business. People say, I don't go back there because they ain't do so-and-so. I said, but did you tell them? Because if Macy's treats you wrong, you go back, or Dillard's or whomever, you go back in there. So you go back in there. Now, I've had an instance where I was supporting Black-owned restaurant. I don't eat I don't eat meat at all, but I was eating chicken then, and I eat a lot of fish. So she had fried fish. I got it, and I got home and it had a piece of hair in the batter, like it was fried into my fish. So I said, I'm gonna hold it. I'm gonna take it because my stomach wasn't gonna be able to eat around none of that. So I take it back in there and I'm like, ma'am, I just wanted to share this with you. And she looked at me like, and it wasn't like I could have put it in there because it was in the batter. It wasn't like I could, it's on here. I wasn't asking for my money back. I wasn't even doing that. I just wanted to make her aware that whoever fried this need to wear hairnet, blah, blah. She was so nasty about it. I was like, I won't go back because I would have done that at any other place. Like,
I mean, sometimes you gotta
put you on game.
I mean, sometimes we gotta hold Black businesses accountable, just like we would hold any other business accountable. I hold these white business. If I go shop somewhere with white folk, which is very rare, I don't, it's very, very rare. But if I do, everything need to be A1. Cause I'm gonna get at them quicker than I'm gonna get at my own. Right. But I hold my own to a high standard as well. So and I like what she said when she said let's be quiet about it sometimes. Sometimes for my own taste, I hate that we complain so much. We complain so much and not actually take action and do things.
That is true. I will give you that. I have people who complain about the name of their street and they're gonna go do such and such. They're gonna do this, and I'm like,
right.
Well, have you gone to the meeting yet?
That's right. What we gonna do about it?
What we doing?
Dr. King used to march in the streets and all that kind of stuff. Dr. King got stabbed. Dr. King got locked up 2-3 times.
Several times.
We don't want to be getting stabbed. We don't want to get shot in the face. We don't want to get locked up. So we just sit back and just take whatever they got going. Now understanding that in the war, there's casualties. You might get locked up unfairly. You might get stabbed. You know, you might get water hosed down. They might put dogs on you. That's the price you gotta pay for freedom. And if you're not willing to pay that price, then stop complaining about everything they doing. Or at least
try something.
Construct something, you know, like you said, build community, be a part of your community. Y'all construct the plan. Let's be quiet. We're gonna construct the plan, and the revolution ain't gonna be televised. And we're gonna right. And then, you know, when the time is right, execute the plan. But all this, you know, talking about it and not being about it, you can miss me with that, you know, for real.
We know.
Right.
We know you miss you with that. I got to figure out. I told him I'm gonna get in we got a big haul next up, you know, in the next 2 years. So I was seeing that Marjorie Taylor Greene is said to be running against Ossoff. Well, that's the rumor. And I'm just like, Jesus Christ.
Either way it go, you're going to get a racist in office.
Ossoff is not a racist.
Hold on. Ossoff, which one is he? He's the white guy, right?
The white guy, the Jewish white guy.
Yeah.
No, he's not. I met him.
Yeah.
He's not racist.
Okay. I mean, I don't like Ossoff. But I don't know. No, I don't like Ossoff. But I like him more than white chicks.
Why you mad at Ossoff?
I ain't mad at Ossoff. I'm just saying
that. Like him. He's up there trying to make some. He came up. He's all about ag. He has been meeting with my daddy about some stuff, trying to get some agriculture for black farmers and making sure that we do things. So
maybe I do some homework on Ossoff. Maybe you can educate staff. Yeah, maybe you can educate me on Ossoff. Maybe I just don't know enough about him. You know, I know I like him more than I like Marjorie Greene.
Yeah, but we got
like anybody more than her, but she got that hell, boy. I'm telling you, she is hell.
Bleach blonde, built, butch body.
Right. Let's get ready to get into 5 answers. If y'all got y'all questions ready for Arle or myself or both of us, please have them ready. I don't know if Arle been tracking them. I'm gonna look into that too, but we're gonna get into 5 honest answers.
Yes, we is back. Been going there since the 90s from Oak Cliff. Oh, that's something. I was trying to see if there were any questions in the chat. I don't have it. I just see facts, Arle. I'm trying to see. And we do have some. I started a few chats.
Adrian Williams say Dr. King marched in dress shoes. Hey, that was the walking boot back then on dress shoes, man. You get respected in those streets, man. Folks want to follow you when you walking in dress shoes. I know that all them miles they walk, boy, if he had to be killing. Boy, Coretta Scott, boy, had to be a great foot massager back then. You got to marry a woman like that.
Her and Betty Shabazz, and they stayed at home while you flew all over the country and saved other people. Right. And think of how young he was. He was like 33 when he passed, I think.
Oh, yeah.
So that meant he was
young man.
In his 20s.
Oh, yeah, he was a young man out there.
Ooh, you about him, John Lewis, all of them. Y'all were young.
He probably about the same age as Lorenzo Sewell.
No, Lorenzo Sewell like 40 something. No.
Oh, okay.
Over there doing his little speech. I'm so sick and disgusted. That was just you talking about. He just might as well put on some blackface and gone on. And
right. But that was hilarious what he did. Though.
It was a mess. I think too, when you learned about the movement, they also had to have a certain. When we don't have that anymore, it seems in community, like everybody just half naked and dressing. Like, remember, there was another girl who had been beaten and taken off the bus, but she had 2 babies out of wedlock. They only picked Rosa Parks because she had a look. Like
Right,
they were
right.
really strategic in
Right.
their fight. And people might say
Right.
that was messed up. They could have used it. No, we have to present to these people this unified, and nothing, you can't pick this lady apart. She looked like me. So people go, oh my God, not that nice lady. Wait a minute. But if you had to look at, but just like they used to do when Eric Gardner got killed for the cigarettes, and anybody didn't look apart. They're not gonna have sympathy. We had to play, you wish that people had humanity, and
you wish they did. But I'm gonna have to tell y'all the controversial truth right now.
Okay, go ahead.
Dr. King didn't get nothing done. Black folk didn't get nothing done without the help of some good non-melanated people.
That's true.
When Dr. King was marching and they was sicking the dogs on him, locking them up, stabbing them, water hose. But when he had them white pastors walking with him and them white pastors got killed, that's when them white folk came and said, "No, we got to establish civil rights. We got to do something." Every time we've gotten anything done, we've done it with the help of non-melanated humans, good people, good white folks who done helped us accomplish some of these goals. So, we got to be able to also have discernment about, when I say white folk, I'm not talking about just any old Caucasian. My best friend mama was white. And she was a lady who really schooled me and educated me on the difference between the different type of white people that we dealing with, because she used to always be like, I don't like these white folk. They need to go to hell. Now I'm like, Miss Vicky, I don't understand. You white, can you talk about these folk this way? And she broke it down to me that all white folk think the same. And the government, a lot of these folks are just evil. So I learned at a young age how to discern between what I call non-melanated humans, good white folks, and these evil bastards who trying to take over the world and kill everybody. That's two different things.
They are.
So we need our Latino people riding with us. We need our good white folks riding with us. I mean, we ain't gonna get much out of the Asian community, but we could use their help.
And they got resources. They learned early after one of them wars, World War II, that they did not need to side themselves with us. They would be treated better. But I want to say to your point about the only reason they did that. So I had the privilege of working for Andy Young for a couple of months. And my job was to watch all of these videos he had, or all these movies he had done, and look at I had to timestamp a bunch of stuff. So I done watched all the stuff I didn't know about, like St. Augustine, Florida, and all these marches and all the stuff. Couple that with me going to law school and having to learn about the Commerce Clause and all of that in constitutional law. And part of the reason we got our rights wasn't because the white folks helped us. It was because it was financial. Our rights fall under the Commerce Clause, because they were saying that you go across state lines and these people won't let you stay at this hotel, or you want to say it's messing with finance.
Right.
And so it was never about, which is why everybody says hit them in the pocket, because it's never been about our human rights. It's always been about money.
Right. I mean, even when it comes down,
we spend it and we want to prove it to them. Like, watch me buy this car, watch me do this, watch me do that, instead of like trying to buy land and doing stuff. And
land is true wealth.
Yep. And so,
even when it comes to the 14th Amendment, we gotta understand it was about money, but white folks had to help us.
Now you have to have people, those people with the cause, because we are the minority. So it's imperative that we have people who, because we need the numbers.
And we need the voice, the voice that they'll actually listen to. They consider themselves the real citizens of this country, which is unfortunate, because we all know what we did to build the country and all that.
And they're not even from here. Most of them people, they trace their roots. They're not Native American.
Right.
But they tend to go back to Africa. Girl, I wish I could. I wish I could trace it back to where I'm supposed to be.
All right, let's get some of this chat real quick. I'm gonna start here. Loose neck. They spoke at the Potter's house trying to get more folks involved in their Ponzi scheme.
He's talking about the couple in Texas. So they were even there. And that's why they had so much money. That's a lot of money. $10 million is a lot.
Loose neck know everything going on in Texas. He know everybody. He know Jasmine Crockett.
He's in Dallas.
He know the Moors. Loose neck he might have got watered out.
Did you get watered out, Loose neck? And didn't share with us.
Right. Send us some, Loose neck.
Send me a little something.
Chuck D. You had to get in the start. If you got in late, you were SOL.
It's out of luck.
Right,
Yep,
right,
Bruce,
right,
yep,
right,
you right. Chuck
right.
D. I got it, but I got in. Well, what I thought was early, child. Clearly not, because I didn't get watered out. Ain't that shame? Mm.
Right. That's
It's okay.
yeah,
It'll come back to me, Lord. I did it with good intention. Wasn't even
right.
nothing bad intention. Need the money.
The master's tools equal PWI education, corporate media, corporate entertainment, Stephen A. Smith. But they do use Stephen A. Smith to get their message across to black people. I tell you that.
He trying to hold on to his little job. I don't
Yeah,
like him ever since he took Ryan and Doug's job.
you
They
know,
brought him in and that was it. I'm like, I don't like
yeah.
Will Smith no more.
True story. I met Stephen A. Smith while I was interning with the Stews back in the day. And this time he had stopped working at ESPN. He has moved over to Fox.
Okay.
So I went in the studio. I asked him, I said, is there any advice you can give a young brother trying to make it up in the media? And he was like, yeah, he was telling me you got to intern, work for free, network. But he was telling me, he was like at ESPN, he said the reason he left ESPN was because they pay you money, they pay you good money, but you have to say what they want you to say. He said, I got tired of saying what they want me to say, so I'm moving over to Fox so I can be a little bit more independent with my thoughts and my words.
So now why he back?
2 years later, he back at ESPN saying exactly what he wanted to say. That's why I lost all kind of I lost a little bit of respect for him because we had that conversation. And he told me the reason why he had left ESPN was because he was tired of being a puppet. And now he back to being a puppet. He's gonna be him and Kumo and on the Kumo show. I guess there's a show on CNN or something like that, the Kumo show. Stephen A. and Bill O'Reilly is gonna be on that show. So they're gonna be doing a lot of coonery and things like that on that show.
Lord.
You already know it. Truck D, the Now is a very important app for our people. I haven't heard of it, but I'm gonna do my research and I'm gonna look into it, and maybe it's something I need to get on. So, here go the first question right here. Arle, Magic City Wings legit?
Eric Porter. Well, my Magic City days have been over, so I'm assuming they're legit. But I told y'all last week I saw the sauce in I was in some store and I was like, they selling Magic City wing sauce. Or maybe I saw it online somewhere. I saw it online. But they were legit. The right amount of crisp. I don't like my wings moist. They were the right amount of crisp. I laugh. I have a friend, I'm not gonna say her name, but she had never been to the strip club. So me, her, two of our guy friends, we went and we were like, we'll feed y'all when y'all get there. It was at the Blue Flame. So she looking at the menu like it's a for real, like we in Papados or something. They were like, girl, order something fried. Don't get in it. She gets a salad with some baked something on, like baked fish, I think, on it or something. They were like, you don't do that in the strip club.
No, not at the strip club.
She didn't know. She's like, I don't understand the etiquette. I said, girl, you in here with a salad. You don't know what's on that. All kind of juice flinging on your salad. At least with the fries, they done fried it off.
Right. Out of the 30 strip clubs you done been to, which one got the best food?
Whatchamacallit has really good food. What's the white Cheetahs has probably the best
Cheetahs.
food.
Okay, we talked about Cheetahs, yeah.
But I don't like.
They don't let you clap in there.
No, they don't let you clap. You clap, you getting fined. That's what the black girl said. Clap, you get fined. So she went to her little. I think you do like one,
right.
But you can't have no applause. You know,
right.
Can't do that. I haven't been there so long. Oh my God.
Yeah, I can't go nowhere. If there ain't anything you clap, I don't want to be in that establishment.
I'm going now.
Stacey McKenzie, Chiefs or Eagles?
I'm going for the Eagles because I like Jalen, and he has a black female, or at least he had. I don't know if he still does, but I think he does. Black female agent who is a Delta. So I'm supporting Jalen again. I hope they beat the Chiefs this time. Okay.
Yeah, I fool with the Eagles. I got to ride with the Eagles. I believe they're going to win.
But the spread in Vegas say they're not, doesn't it? It's like the
the spread in Vegas is, that they got to get their gambling on. Which, sometimes I believe the guys in Vegas who be setting them lines, they need to be the real sports analysts because they be right on. These guys who be talking sports like they want you to listen to them, like they know what they be talking about. They be so far off sometimes. You're like, why don't you just go get the experts? The real experts, the guys in Vegas.
About? We ain't got none but experts around here on the Two Live Stews.
No, I'm on the Two Live Stews, so you got an expert. But I'm talking about guys like Stephen A. Smith. I'm talking about guys like, in the media. the Charles Barkley and all these folks, even though they played, they be so far off. But the guys in Vegas, they be right there. They be a point or two off on what's actually gonna happen. So, bring them guys up. That's what I'll say. Who is this? Julius C. Hey, Notty. Hey, Stephen A. You have any advice for me? Stephen A. Yeah, you gotta coon your way to. I mean, he might have well. That's what he might have well had said.
Right, you gotta coon your way to the top, buddy.
Right. I just saw a question.
Adrian Williams said, "Where was Pratt?" Well, let me say, hold on. He said, "Shout out, what's up, Adrian? Where was Patrick Mahomes' daddy during the trophy presentation?"
I think Patrick Mahomes' daddy locked up.
What?
I think they got him. I think the last I had read, he got locked. He was DUI, a DUI charge. It's messed up because, man, ever since Pat Mahomes really got on top like that, man, they've been trying to find a way to get his daddy, out the picture, man. So Pat Mahomes just can be around all these white folk. His wife, he got Taylor Swift now. He got Caitlin Clark. They got Trump on their side. This what folk don't understand. That's why I tell you, I don't claim Pat Mahomes.
Oh, the daddy or the it won't let me see it.
Now his daddy is the reason why they had money growing up, because his daddy played Major League Baseball. I remember watching his daddy play ball.
I'm trying to find the article, but it won't let me see none of them. Let me see. Oh, it said he was, after pleading guilty to his third DUI just before last year's Super Bowl. Mahomes Sr., the father of NFL quarterback Patrick Mahomes, is claiming that his X account has been hacked following a tongue-in-cheek remark regarding the Buffalo Bills. Today is a great day to not be from Buffalo. Mahomes Sr. X account still reads, after the Chiefs defeated the Bills. Why is that bad?
That's what I'm saying.
I don't know. It doesn't say he got a Super Bowl. It was before last year, but yeah. Okay, we got to see.
Right. Right. Well, that's what I'm saying. Last I heard, he had a DUI. They were making the man look bad. He had a little burnt one time. I'm like, come on, man. Y'all can't be doing this dude like that. This man raised his Patrick Mahomes to be the quarterback that he is. They do it to us all the time. Right? They do it to us all the time. LeVar Ball brought his boys up to be successful basketball players. Everybody trying to kill Lamar Ball. They even get our own people to try to shun and clown this man like he ain't did something great.
Right.
Yeah. So,
From Loose Neck Side, young girls giving advice on what not to do until a dude come along she likes, then it's the exact opposite of the advice she was given. Very true. We will change that thing on you. We will change it on you. Like, well, I didn't mean it like that. I just meant,
because sometimes they be hurt, they had a bad experience with a guy and then they want to go. Well, that's why I'm saying, like, I don't understand why females take advice from females who are single on how to.
Well, like, for me, I'm single, but I can tell somebody, like, I call my friends all the time, like, don't say that to that dude. That's not gonna work. I'm not the kind of girl. I do whatever I want. If I was you, I'm not. I mean,
But a lot of times misery loves company, and they don't want to see you happy, so they tell you anything that they need to tell you, so your situation can be messed up, and you don't have to be happy.
Yeah, that's very true. Truck D, the Nile. Did you read that already?
No. Yeah. We gotta find it now. I guess we out of questions. I guess the chat don't got no more questions for us. So maybe read 2 or 3 more chat, and we gotta get out of here.
Yep, because y'all get ready for In the Huddle.
Oh yeah, In the Huddle with Joe.
In the Huddle with Joe
Hamilton. He got some good stuff on tonight. They're gonna be talking about Kansas City and the Eagles. They're gonna give like a different aspects. I like that Joe Hamilton. He gives you a different aspect because he played quarterback. He actually he played on a high level, so he gives you different aspects of the game, what to look for. Not only just all that generalization that you'll get on some of these networks. He gives you what to look for in the trenches. Players that might be hurt and how this might affect the running game or the passing game, or it might affect how the defensive coordinator might use his guys as far as blitzing or playing zone. So it's some very intricate stuff. So Y'all make
check
sure
it out.
y'all stay tuned. The In the Huddle with Joe at 9:00.
9:00. And then in the morning, for all of you early
I'm looking for
risers,
Julius C. question. He did have a good question. I'm looking for your question, Julius C. That's what I was looking for. But
check us. Oh, I don't see it. What was the question? Let me see if I can see it. Check us out in the morning, 7 a.m. with the Two Live Stews Experience. Your boys Doug and Ryan Stewart, Notty with his Funky Four, me with a little entertainment, Tree with a chat read, Strip Club, Julius
that
C.
bowling alley food is awful.
Now,
They
one of
sell
the
some
bowling
of the
alleys has some
cheapest
pretty
food
good
that you
stuff.
can find.
They do. But one of them bowling alleys, I can't think, was it like Penn and Proper or something? One of them fancy ones had some good food, but it was pricey. It's pricey, period. All that stuff
I
you're gonna
mean,
pay.
if
It's
you
ridiculous.
want good food from a bowling alley, it needs to be super pricey because you can go to a bowling alley and get some pricey trash. I'd be like, how y'all selling this? I mean, I went to a bowling alley, they had corn dogs that they put in the microwave. They selling these things for $12.
Well,
I'm like, I don't know about that.
you're not good for you. Don't
But
put it in your tummy. Don't put it in your tummy.
please don't put it in your tummy.
Mm-mm.
Please don't put it in. But anyway, man, we appreciate y'all
Yes,
for
thank
tuning
y'all
in
for
today.
rocking with us today. We appreciate it. More coming up next Wednesday at 7 p.m. with Arle and Notty. We got more Doing Too Much, more hot topics, more
What you
things
say?
that Negro needs to know.
We're gonna definitely do that. What you say? We're gonna do that some more.
We can't wait to see what y'all have to say with these questions. I couldn't think of nothing good today. That's why, and Notty was like, "Well, I got to think of what a good what you say question will be. I'm gonna come with some fire,
Right.
fire on that."
Right. We hope that y'all were informed today. Y'all got some, solid encouragement.
Yes.
It's not over for us. Just because we're in office don't dictate that we gotta stop fighting. The fight never stops.
No.
And it ain't just starting now. So let's just keep pushing. Let's keep fighting. Let's keep supporting each other. Let's build with each other.
Yes.
Again, shout out to Jasmine Crockett. Go follow her on Twitter. She got good information that she's offering to the people. She really trying her best. And let's continue to love each other above all else.
Let's have some human kindness.
Right. So until tomorrow, when Arle, you got the entertainment report.
And
I got the Funky Four. And until next week,
go out there and be a know-it-all.
Right. I read all the chat after the show too, so I'm gonna be reading y'all chat. But we're gonna holler at y'all next week. All right, we appreciate y'all sincerely. Like, share, and subscribe.
Have a great rest of your week, guys.